Welcome to Biz Wire. I'm Neil Jones in Beijing. Just about everyone worries that Beijing, perturbed by the ongoing squabble in Washington, will sour on treasuries. This concern is embedded in the provocative title of Emmons Fingleton's recent Forbes posting, "If Republicans want to shut down Washington, they'll have to ask China's permission first." The Republicans, in fact, did not seek Beijing's approval, and neither did Democrats. Are both sides making a mistake by not taking into account China's feelings, as the Communist Party demands everyone do? It's clear Chinese officials are watching closely. A Xinhua editorial says, quote, "The United States, the world's sole superpower, has engaged in irresponsible spending for years." It goes on to say, with no political unity to redress its policy mistake, a dysfunctional Washington is now overspending the confidence in its leadership. The official organ's warning, entitled "On Guard Against Spillover of Irresponsible U.S. Politics," hints that Beijing leaders are thinking of further diversifying their portfolio away from dollar-denominated debt. If the Chinese don't continue buying Treasury securities, the federal government will have to find others to pick up the slack. Many, including the respected Congressional Research Service, says that the U.S. Treasury may then have to pay substantially more for borrowed funds, and higher interest rates could result in lower long-term growth. China is by far the largest foreign holder of U.S. Treasury securities. At the end of July, it had stockpiled close to $1.3 trillion in treasuries. The country is way in front of Japan, whose portfolio is $142 billion less. If you add in the treasuries of autonomous Hong Kong, the hoard of the People's Republic increases by $120 billion. This direction is unmistakable. China, excluding Hong Kong, ended last century with just $60 billion in treasury securities. So it does look like Obama, Boehner, Pelosi, and Reid should have been on the line to Beijing before beginning their most recent spat. All this is not to say the U.S. should run budget deficits. It definitely should not. But it does tell us that we do not need the Chinese to do so. Of course, Washington's statistics cannot capture China's purchases of treasuries through nominees. From time to time, there is unusual activity in foreign debt markets, notably London, indicating the Chinese are trying to hide purchases and sales. There is, however, nothing to suggest that their transactions behind the screen do not track the ones out in the open. The fact is, nothing will happen if China stops buying treasuries. It has, in fact, already stopped adding to the stockpile. But what happens if the Chinese really get mean? Why hasn't China nuked us? If Beijing sold treasury securities in massive quantities, it would cause a panic. But the world's deep markets would quickly adjust. As a practical matter, China's deficit-plagued central government needs the income, so most of the funds would go into interest-bearing instruments denominated in euros, pounds, francs, and yen. They know that in a short period, calm would return to the markets. America's debt would end up held by its friends, and they would be stuck with a wide variety of assets their managers had shunned in the first place. You're watching Biz Wire on Blue Ocean Network. All of the stories can be seen on our website, BONTV/biz-wire. In just a second, we'll continue with more insight into the big picture of China's economy.